Before the break, we talked about something that's very near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
Which is the head football coach at the University of Florida. And we've got to understand some things. It's not that you hate Billy Napier, right?
Right. I love Billy Napier. Yeah.
It's not that Billy Napier is a bad coach.
That's correct. He's not a bad coach.
It's not that Billy Napier doesn't know football.
Billy Napier knows football.
It's not that Billy Napier doesn't know how to call a game.
Right.
It's not that Billy Napier can't, know what he needs. It's not that Billy Napier can't recruit.
Yeah, he can
He
definitely
absolutely
recruit.
recruits.
He's a beast there.
Is Billy Napier the guy, though?
I mean, I don't know if it's the schedule or what, but it's not looking like he's the guy. So.
Is he your guy?
He was for the longest time, but, after accumulating some stats and facts and, the fact that he's fallen under 500, that's terrible for me, for a Florida coach to not. I mean, when you've watched more losses than you've watched wins, that's a problem as a fan.
And winning a national title in basketball doesn't help when you're a football school.
No.
You're a football school.
That's why I'm wearing the basketball shirt today.
I don't care. I know that.
Maybe I'll think of it differently.
We'll have to see how it all plays out.
I mean, LSU wins 2 of the last 3 baseball titles, and we're not aching for football. We're still football lovers, though. It's still number 1 sport.
Right. It brings the most revenue, and it's the number 1 sport. When you think of the LSU Tigers,
Yes.
you don't think baseball first.
Some people do. 8 titles.
I mean, some people do.
We're the modern dominating team.
Some people like Sam's Cola too, but I'm just saying the majority likes Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
So the majority of LSU fans, sometimes you're difficult to deal with.
I know.
If you're an LSU fan,
Yeah.
you're not gonna. Okay, so
You will wear a football shirt before you wear a baseball jersey. Yes, you're
and
right.
excuse me,
Yeah.
is the stadium at the baseball field, is it bigger than the football field?
No.
Okay, by a lot or by a little?
By a bit.
A lot.
bit.
Like what? Three?
Oh, no, you can't fit 3 diamonds in the...
I'm not talking about the diamond. The fans. Can you fit 3 fans?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
9 times.
9 okay.
9 times.
So LSU is a football school. So
Yeah.
let me get back to my point now that I've figured out that I'm right. Florida is a football school, even though they are good at basketball. Alabama is a football school, even though they're good at basketball. Now, so Billy Napier, I've said this. I've said it on the show. I've said it personally. He's a good coach. But Florida is one of those jobs that is a main job in college football. And not everybody can coach the main jobs. He can go to Louisiana with the Raging Cajuns and overperform what is expected. He could probably go to a UK and probably do what Bob Stoops or Mark Stoops has done. He could go to a Mississippi State and probably make it respectable.
South Carolina.
But when you're at the University of Florida, Chris Hobzilla, when you're at the stinking University of Florida, you've got to win more games than you lose.
Exactly.
And Billy Napier hasn't done that, has he?
No, he has not. And we need to see an SEC championship and an actual championship.
And it's not a false sense of entitlement either. Because I think there's schools like Arkansas that think that they're that good and that big.
And they're not.
And they're not.
No.
And they hold their coaches up to a higher standard. And it's like, guys, you're the Razorbacks, man. You're not the Gators.
Right.
Come on.
No, you're right.
So with all this being said, who is the leading contender online for this job?
100% Lane Kiffin wants the job. I hear that it's making some wrinkles basically to try and to get Lane Kiffin. Like, he wants to be a top 3 paid coach. So he's going to want, $12 million a year. So that kind of, threw a little wrench in the plan.
He makes 9 right now, I believe. 9 million.
And they're waiting on Urban Meyer to say no because he is in contention for the job too. So it sounds like it's Urban Meyer's job, but if Lane Kiffin, if Urban says no and Lane Kiffin, definitely wants the job because, he put on an Instagram, and I know this could be one of his famous trolls, but I think it's hard to believe that you can work for Ole Miss and put that up, and just not even care, because I'm sure the guys at Ole Miss are not happy with that. It sounds funny, but I really believe that way. You're Ole Miss University. I don't see why they would want Gator propaganda on their coach's Instagram.
I don't know. My daughter's an Ole Miss student. She probably would laugh at it. No, I think it's hilarious.
But I don't think the AD would. So
yeah. So the question is not if, but when.
Exactly. That's it.
So if Billy Napier beats Texas A&M, he's still gone?
The word is that he has to hit 8-4 or the playoffs or he's gone. And look at the schedule.
Yeah, because you got Georgia left. And I'm not saying Florida State is not, because it's a rivalry game. Both the teams are going to be playing for blood.
Right. At home, I feel like we might beat Florida State, but I could see Billy doing something stupid and losing to Kentucky, so.
Ugh.
Well, Mississippi State. I'm not saying that's a guarantee. I'm just saying that's the kind of games I've watched him lose.
Yeah, he has lost those games. Yeah. So the thing about it is, though, is who are you playing and what's their implications? A&M has real anticipation for an actual playoff berth.
Yeah.
A&M wants to win the SEC this year. They feel like they are contenders. They feel like they are and you guys are just another roadblock for them to get to that college football playoff. Because we talked about it, that the SEC championship is not the college football playoff. It's still here. Everybody wants to win it. You mentioned it. You said we want SEC championships, but you know as well as I do, you'll throw that SEC championship out the window if you can win that playoff berth and if you can win the national title.
Oh,
it won't matter as much. It's just another ring in the shelf. That's all it is anymore.
Yes.
But realistically, when you look at it, you got these type of teams that's coming into your schedule that they're not really caring about your problem with your head coach.
Right.
They're just seeing you as you're the place that I've got to go through to get to where I want to go. And so when you look at this team, that's what they're going to look at. But you gotta think that Ole Miss, what are they? Because you can't sit here and tell me that Ole Miss is a football school, a baseball school, a basketball school, anything school. I'm sorry, I know your daughter goes there, and I'm not trashing them because she's getting a great education, and the hottie toddies are always flying. And the Grove is good. Steve Barnes, if you're listening, the hottie toddies are great. The Grove is great.
Yeah.
But you gotta tell me that if Lane Kiffin, if this is where he wants to be, I'm going to call you to your face a liar. Lane Kiffin has been at USC, he's been at Tennessee, and now he's been at Ole Miss.
And he's a Florida Atlantic.
And
as a head coach.
I know, but I'm saying he's been at those jobs.
And he's a coordinator at Alabama.
But he was at those jobs to get credibility. That was never going to be his stopping ground. Or whatever at Florida
Atlantic.
It was never going to be on the cards to stay there. I don't care.
A stepping stone.
I don't care if they offered him $50 million.
Tennessee was a stepping stone.
Well, there were some problems. There were some immaturities. He's talked about those things. Yeah. But I'm just telling you right now, and you can mark this down.
So was Ole Miss a stepping stone?
Ole Miss is definitely 100%. He wanted to get that program turned around. He wanted to get some 5 stars there. Yeah. He wanted to do exactly what he's doing this year, and that is make enough teams worried about him and possibly make the playoff. If he makes the playoff and loses, Ole Miss faithful will be as happy as can be. And that's what he does not want. He wants to go to a place that says, I don't want more wins. I don't want more losses than wins. I want to have an opportunity every single year to play for a national championship. And that ain't happening at Ole Miss, but it is happening at Florida.
That's very true.
And so when you look at it, if you're telling me that he's going to stay at Ole Miss for money? No, sir. He wants the prestige. Who does everybody talk about that all the SEC coaches look to say whatever he wants to say. It's Lane Kiffin. He says they text him stuff that they don't like about their school, about what's going on in college football. And he said because they're scared to put it out there because they want to keep their job. He said, I don't care. I say it anyway. Do you know why?
Why?
Because Ole Miss is not his final destination.
That's so true.
And you know what? If the roles were reversed and the Alabama Crimson Tide were doing exactly what Florida's doing, and they were spiraling out of control with Kalen DeBoer, Alabama would be knocking on the door of a Mr. Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
And if you looked at online before the season started and after the Florida State game, everybody in Alabama country, for the most part, was saying, we need the Lane train back to Tuscaloosa. And I'm just telling you, Lane Kiffin's going to Florida. You can mark it down. I don't care what Urban Meyer says. I don't care what anybody says. And I'm not being a prophetic preacher right now, but I am telling you, with all that is within me right now, I believe without a doubt in my mind that Lane Kiffin, 2026, no matter if he wins a national title at Ole Miss, he's going to Florida.
So the Gators game against Ole Miss, is it up in Oxford?
Yes.
He's going to Florida. Did you hear me? He's going to Florida.
He's going to Florida. He's coming.
Do you think so?
I really believe so. Yeah. I mean, people give me, stuff about, inside information online all the time. And they're giving me, oh, you don't know this and that. And then I asked earlier on my Facebook, I'm like, well, who does know, and I listed all these, people like On3, 247 Sports, all these different companies. And they said, oh yeah, they're all credible. Well, guess what? One of those guys is who I've been speaking with about, Lane Kiffin coming to Florida, and it's the number one prospect for Florida. It's all contingent. Like, as long as Alabama don't start losing a bunch of games and Kalen don't go anywhere and, Florida finishes out this season, it's going to be Lane Kiffin or Urban Meyer. So Urban Meyer is the one that has to say no. It sounds like for whatever reason, because I've expressed here before that, Lane Kiffin and the AD supposedly from Florida don't get along the best. But, with Urban Meyer, being in the picture, I think that, they're waiting to hear back from him. And then as soon as the season's finished up or whatever, it's going to end up being Lane Kiffin. I've seen too many, insiders basically have told me the same about the situation, and people surrounded by the program that are close to the AD are leaking information. So it's Kiffin or Urban.
Well, there's no way the Gators are going 8-4. They got Georgia, Tennessee, and Ole Miss left on the schedule, and then I'm even talking about Florida State. So 6-6 is a dream.
You think so?
And that's if they beat A&M. Yeah.
I feel
You talk about it. Georgia.
Nope.
Tennessee?
Nope.
Ole Miss?
Nope.
That's 6-6 because they've already got 3 losses. There's six losses.
That's the deal. There's no way he's going to win.
right.
He can't. And it's not that they can't. They don't have the weapons. It's just not that they're not. He knows he's gone, and I just think when you're leaving a place, it takes away your. I mean, I know he wants to win. Don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to win, But when you go and they tell you it's over after this year, you just. Now, what's going to happen if they keep the 5 stars that they have and then Lane brings his 5 stars over?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I hate that for sports. Like the Marshall coach leaving and going to Southern Miss and
21
40-something people or whatever.
Well, you made 21 starters.
Starters, yeah.
So
that was just ugly.
Yeah.
And Austin Simmons was already almost a Gator, so he wouldn't mind switching over there, so.
Yeah, so
Trinidad Chambliss.
Mm-hmm.
This might be his last year. I think he's going to go pro.
He could.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it could be Austin Simmons and DJ that he has at his disposal. And if DJ starts doing what he...
DJ Ugalala?
No.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But Lagway has only had one good game. Let's not go off the...
yeah, for real. That's why I'm bringing up Austin Simmons, man. There's a potential that he could be the quarterback. So
I don't know. All I know is I'm gonna put it right here, right now. You're gonna see Lane Kiffin in that orange and blue. But when we come back, we are going to dive into the rest of the weekend. You're listening to the